Today, we're going to review all of the headlines that have been running amok about yours truly on right-wing media. Number 1. He liked cock and he liked killing. Jennifer Welch mocks Lindsey Graham after his death shock rant. And I ask you, where's the lie? All right, the next slide. Far-left podcaster Jennifer Welch calls homeschooling trickle-down stupidity a huge problem. I would like to say thank you for calling me far-left podcaster. I'm often accused of being a moderate. Next slide. Governor Kitten Hills has chimed in. Governor Kitten Hills has entered the chat. The New York Post far-left podcaster, again, thank you, New York Post. And as my listeners accuse me of being a moderate, thank you so much for calling me far-left. Not true. Also, in my experience, homeschool students tend to be noticeably well-behaved. Ron, I'm just curious, why do you send your kids to a private school, you fucking hypocrite? Next slide. You guys. The Department of Education of the United States of America tweeted about me. Badge of honor beaming here. Again, shout out to the New York Post. Thank you for identifying me appropriately as far left. The proven value of homeschooling should never be dismissed as trickle-down stupidity. And I want to just agree, it shouldn't be dismissed as trickle-down stupidity. It is fucking triple-down stupidity. Thanks for shouting me out.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
Let's break that down before we see the other clips. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1. When you homeschool your kids, think about the type of individuals that always want to homeschool their kids. These are the type of individuals that obviously for them to talk about black people being in the bubble of the hood, what the fuck you think you're doing by homeschooling? You're keeping your kids in the bubble of the home. And when you keep them in the bubble of the home, they don't get out and get social skills. And when you don't get out and get social skills and understand how to critically think through an environment that is public, that has many people, you're going to make stupid decisions, or you're going to be beholden to the people that you learn about in that bubble. And usually these homeschools are Christian, nationalist, right-wing paragons of making people stupid, making people not critical think, and making people not understand that there are other people around society that we need to learn how to get along with. But the most important one, ladies and gentlemen, they do not learn that things should be equitable. They do not learn that thy neighbor could be black, Hispanic, Asian, Chinese. They learn that their race is the superior race in that stupid school that they're doing, and they don't get any of the skills of sympathy and apathy because we know that Christian nationalists aren't teaching that anymore. And to Jennifer's point about how they are attacking her, you also got to think, she is probably one of the greatest weapons against white nationalist white men that are rich. She's a successful white woman. She's educated. She comes from the Bible Belt. She comes from Oklahoma, a place where I don't know when the last time they voted blue. Can somebody tell me when the state had blue anything? I mean, do they even allow the color blue in there? It's blue skies in Oklahoma. That's where she comes from. And she calls this shit like it is. And when you have someone who's been inside that type of environment, gets out and is able to expand on why it's wrong, why it's not helpful to all of humanity, they want to shut her up. But there's more, ladies and gentlemen. In this clip, Don Lemon is going to also expand upon what he heard and what he saw when he went on the show with her. And shout out to the DL, the legend Don Lemon. Love that guy. Love Jennifer. Love anyone who's standing up verbally, physically, progressively for what's right. And I'm with her. When you compare far left to far right, honestly, people, which one do you want? It ain't the far left out there using ICE to kill people, citizens. It is never the far left that's running around creating mass shootings. Maybe far left want to hug trees. Is that more dangerous than using a weapon to harm somebody? You tell me. Take a look at this clip.
Tweeted about me. Same New York Post article. U.S. Department of Education homeschoolers, like the winner of the President's 1776 Award, have demonstrated their ability to succeed at the highest level time and time again. The proven value of homeschooling should never be dismissed as trickle-down stupidity. The only thing that is stupid is your ignorance. And I want to also point out here that Linda McMahon's children both attended public high school. They were not homeschooled. Dawn.
Okay. Number one, I think it is a badge of honor to piss off the MAGAs and Ron DeSantis. I can't take anything seriously that they do, honestly, because as I have said to you before, people who are intelligent, when they gain new information, they change their minds if it's something that's different from what they believe. No matter how much information you give a MAGA person, they don't change their minds. It is cult-like, and I consider Ron DeSantis to be a MAGA person. Here's the thing, though. It's so funny that you mentioned that. If you'll just let me tell this little story. The interactions that I've had with most children or most people who have been homeschooled, I'm talking about adults, not children, I should say that, when they're adults, they've been so sheltered that they have no idea of what the real world is like. So I just happened to be at a concert and I sat next to someone who was from my own hometown in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He lived there until he was, I think, 17 years old or 18, graduate from high school years. And I was talking to him about landmarks, things that were part of Baton Rouge. Like when you go to Baton Rouge, you go to Tony's Seafood and you do this. Everybody knows what that is. Everybody. I said, and did you know about this? Did you know about that? Oh my gosh, do you remember that? He remembered nothing because his parents homeschooled him. And he told me, hand to God, he wishes he had not been homeschooled because it sheltered him so much that he had no idea about the real world.
Folks, it's true. And if you make the choice of homeschool, you have got to do something to help those kids understand what it's like to mingle amongst the other people that live in their community outside your church. I can speak to that directly because I was a respiratory therapist that did outpatient care, and I worked with several kids, white kids, that was being homeschooled in these crazy ass religions. And when some of those kids got out of the religion, they were messed up in the head. Now, do you think that those folks believe in bringing in mental health specialists? No, their mental health specialist is getting on their knees praying to God. And I'm sad to say, folks, that just doesn't work. You need to talk to somebody on earth that can give you educated, proven help to get you over this hump that you get stuck into. And the other thing that this homeschooling does with these white nationalists, it sequesters any real history that would have them understand why things are the way they are here in America, which is what they really want. They really want to be raising a state of people who don't care about minorities, who think that they are superior above all that, and to keep this white race going and to keep you dumb, because if you don't have, it's hard to have critical thinking skills if you're not out in the world being critical, being criticized, having to overcome hurt, having to deal with people say bad things about you, having to understand that sometimes what you learned at home is just not true. It's not true. And that brings me to my next story. Folks, post your comments on what you think about this homeschooling thing. I'm not saying it should be illegal, but there needs to be rules put in place that ensure that these people are not going to come out of that and be these folks that sit in basements all day, keyboard warriors, and then when they get mad enough about something and they don't have facts, they go shoot up the place. We can't keep having that. And a lot of that comes from those type of environments.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.